And we are live.
That catches me out every week.
Every week, does it?
Fair. Every week.
Well, it's episode 40.
Indeed. Indeed.
We've done 40 episodes, dude.
Another what? 3 months and we're up to a year.
I know.
That's scary.
I know, it scares. It is frightening. I think the home service must be coming up to its 100th episode.
We'll have to count.
Yeah, it must be. And I think out of that 100, I think I've only missed about 2 or 3 shows.
Yeah.
Since home service were going.
Bless you.
And we've only missed one episode, 1 week of Tales and all.
Yeah, my fault. Sorry. Head down. Guilty.
Oh no, we missed one at Expo, didn't we? But we did kind of a live one.
Yeah, it was a sort of. Yeah.
So what's the weather like at your end?
It's blowing up a good one.
Well, we've just we popped out to Doncaster to pick Jan's car up, and honestly, it is horrendous out there. The drains can't cope with the. There was one, couple of drains that was coming into Wadworth, and they must have been about 3 foot high, spurting out.
Oh
yeah, flooded everywhere, trees all over. It is a nightmare.
Which is why I'm here.
In the warmth and in the safe.
Indeed.
Hello, chat. Hello, chatty chat. Hello, how are you all this Sunday afternoon? You all well?
I hope so.
Go on, then I'll let you say hello. You know I can't read.
So, good afternoon, Alan. Nice to see you. Mr. Richards, greetings, sir. Mr. Doyle, Mr. Grant, Dion, good to see you, mate. Emma, thanks for joining us. Gav, how are you doing, dude? Emma's made the Huggle list.
Yeah, Emma's made the Huggle list.
Emma, Huggles! Gav, Ben, always good to see you, grumpy old mate. Hephaestus, good morning, sir. I hope that coffee tastes good. J. Jerry, good to see you, mate. JP. Lynn, hello. Master Baker. Hiya, Simon, how you doing?
Yeah, buddy.
Rev, I was impressed with the down with the kids stuff, Rev.
Yeah. No, he just could not be arsed. I could not be arsed to type all their long names. So from now on, everyone's going to have short, small names for Rev. 2 syllables he prefers.
Oh, bless. And last but not least, the legend of YTS, Timmy! Oh, bless. Horrible weather. It's dressing down day in slippers. And the response from Bill is, I tried that, Timmy, and they kicked me out of Sainsbury's.
I tell you one thing, it is blooming scary out there at the moment. It really is. John, big fist bump there. Thank you for the 20 knock. Awesome. Thank you very much.
I'm just saying, Rev's just said he does TikTok now and everything.
I do TikTok.
How hip is Rev?
I know. There's some scary stuff on TikTok.
What, as in bizarre or FNAF scary?
All of it.
Really?
Yeah.
I shall have to investigate this later. Purely for purposes of a sort of reference nature.
So I've got to ask, obviously, because most people are here in the UK. No, John, what's the weather like at your end? Are you getting the blustery, blistery, windy weather wet that we're getting?
Chunk!
Chunkbuster!
Good to see you, mate. I bet it's blowing where Chunk is. Because he's on the West Coast. Yeah, well, he's a damn sight closer to the West Coast than we are.
I thought you were down south.
Yeah.
Oh, no, is he Wales?
I'm sure Chunk's Wales.
Yeah, he might be. Yeah, no, Wales is getting bad.
Apparently Rev's just said, my kids do it on private settings, so I just embarrass them. Good man. The job of fathers everywhere. Up windy and snowy in Norway.
Ooh, looks like you're probably getting this. What's it called? Begins with a C.
It's not Clara. I'm thinking Doctor Who there.
Clara. We'll call her Clara.
Storm Clara. It's not Casey or something like that, is it?
Syria? Siara? Syria? I told you I can't read.
How the hell do you pronounce Syria? Ciara?
Sarah? Anyway, that one. By all accounts, it's a little bit breezy in Wales. Only a little bit breezy.
I was going to say, Chunk, we call this big coat weather.
Honestly, I literally stopped off and got some diesel for the truck. I got drenched wet through getting diesel. Went to the Citroen dealer. Got out of the Citroen dealer. Got drenched going into the office. Come out. We got drenched going around the car to double check it. Got back home. Got drenched when we getting in. Honestly, it is bad out there. It is nice. Kira.
Yeah.
Kira?
No, it's Kira. Abby says it's snow and effing cold in Iceland, which is given after stuff I've been seeing about climates and all the rest of it yesterday. I made the mistake of going on to the documentaries on BBC. I'm glad to hear it.
Oh, hang on a minute. Alan says he's got 3 different fences blown down already out the back in central Scotland. Ooh.
I was going to say,
Scotland, we're getting it really bad.
I don't think you're going to have to worry about putting the bins out later, mate. I think the wind's going to do it for you.
I think it's more of a case of, have you got any bins?
Well, yeah, true.
You know, so like 3 Mile Down Road, they've got your bins.
Well, my favourite post this morning was some woman on one of the weather groups had put, forgot to take the washing in last night. If anybody finds any big knickers in their backyard, they're probably mine. Oh, bless. Who else we got coming? So Ebby's coming.
Uncle Ebby.
Darren Robertson. Good afternoon. And who? Oh, did I see? Yes, I saw Shiny Itis. Simon's got the Bonza kit, 200ml of juice and 200ml of juice for 48 quid, all in.
That's good. That really is good.
Given they were charging more than that, but when the Bonza first came out, it was quite expensive, really.
Well, I've got to admit, I'm still loving my clutch. I absolutely love that to pieces. It's so simple and so comfy in hand, and it's so tiny. It's so small.
Rev says one of his bins hasn't shifted because it's full of nappies and uneaten food from the other 3 brats. What I must admit, when I first just scanned that, I thought it said the bin hasn't moved because it's full of nappies and the 3 brats. Sorry, Rev, I do apologise.
Yeah, he's not put the 3 brats in it.
Yeah.
Simon has cheered himself up. His bike event got stopped due to this weather. I cannot ride my bike across the moors. These snowflakes these days stop a person. Well, to be honest with you, I wouldn't want to be out in a bike in this weather. No.
It all depends which moors you were going up, because if you're going up sort of Snake Pass way, it's a bit airy up there at the minute. Oh, Emma says blowing a gale in Southport. Oh, wait.
I got told Needles 81 mile an hour winds were recorded.
Nice.
Needles in Isle of Wight.
Sod that.
81 mile an hour.
That'd lift your kilt, wouldn't it? Oh.
You don't wear kilts down there. Wrong end at country.
That'd lift your kilt. I'm not saying about where it is. I'm just saying it would. Have a cheeky caress and then disappear.
Yeah. Jenny's in.
Bless.
Oh God.
Jenny! Are your bits getting blown around this morning, Jen?
Nearly. I nearly spurted. That's what she said.
Stop it. Oh, so what else are you on with? Apart from mechanical. Well, you've shown your clutch.
Oh, I'm only on my X. My X and my intake dual. Really boring. But simple. It's a simple device and I love it.
Bless you. Well, I'm only on the one. Aegis with the Zeus X on top and a drop of the highly delightful Whitlicker Deja Vu.
Oh, juices. On Eclipse Bursting Blue Lemonade, which is a mixed berry with lemonade, which is quite nice. And then I'm still on this. I'm trying to get rid of it. This Berryade from Jonesville Juice, which you had a go at. It's all right. It's not the greatest of juices, but it's all right.
I wouldn't recollect to pick a bottle up, but if I had it, I'd vape it. It's not unpleasant at all. No,
it's not. It is nice. I do like it, but I like it in small bursts.
Well,
what spoils it for me is it's got that. I won't say it's got cool lager, but it's got that cooling agent in it. There's not a lot of it, but that menthol, mint, cool lager, and that cooling agent after a while makes my stomach feel a bit queasy. I don't know what it is. It just, that bit there, just what do you call it, your sternum? Yeah, just round there, it just starts making me feel a bit. If I vape too much of it.
We're delicate souls, that's what it is.
I don't know what it is. It's just one of them things. I've always suffered with. Do you know when I brush my teeth? The mint, the actual mint makes me.
Oh God. But toothpaste is designed to do that. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Toothpaste is designed so that it will make you. You know when you've been cleaning your teeth for a bit, and something just makes you go.
Yeah.
And just. It's actually designed. There's something in the toothpaste that makes you, rather than swallowing it, sort of gag a bit.
I'm like that with chewing gum or like that. That just makes me.
What we got here?
That's it, Timmy. I knew there was some. It's the rocket fuel that's in it.
Stop it. Voka, good afternoon, mate.
Double fist bump to Voka.
Apparently Simon rides a man's bike, so he has to ride it like one. 1960s, they didn't care about having to keep it real. Naughty up moors near Skipton. By heck.
I've seen him. He's shown me photos of him. Honestly, they're absolutely awesome. He's got one, I forget the make of it. He's got one, but it was originally built from tank parts. Metal from old tanks from World War II.
So it's not lightweight.
No, it's not lightweight, so it's not going to blow over. He's going to be all right in that one. By all accounts, he went through a dry stone wall with it, and there was more damage to the wall than there was the bike.
Apparently, Chris is on the Donut King vanilla custard, and apparently it's very nice. Well, I must admit, I destroyed that EVC killer custard. I completely just went barking on it.
I destroyed that with liquor. That I had the last bit on Friday.
That
was gorgeous. That
it is, and you've got the other two to try. Yeah. He's happy now.
It's the apricot I'm really interested in trying.
You and me both. You and me both.
I've never been a big fan of fruits of the forest, I must admit. As in a yoghurt or on a dessert. I've never been a fan, but the apricot I do fancy.
No, to be honest, the fruit, like I say, it's got a real twang of blackcurrant running right through it.
Yeah.
And it just lifts it above the normal sort of mishmash.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, so we're on episode 40, aren't we?
Episode 40, I can't believe it, yeah.
How safe is your media? In a fairly obvious reference to the debacle that went out, how dare they, while we were live.
Yeah. On Thursday.
Yeah, yeah. I think they were hiding it from us, dear boy.
Yeah,
Well, Mark and I watched it together on Friday.
we did. That was the second time I watched it.
And there was some interesting language used.
Yeah.
Not excessive, but Nick's just said, "Oh bother, don't get me started." Good afternoon, Nick. Nice of you to see you, mate.
Nice to see you, kiddo. Well, we've got to talk about it. We have so got to talk about it because let's face it. From my understanding, it must have been recorded back in July-ish, because I did notice that the Toy Story 4 advertisement on one of the billboards, and I had looked when that was actually in the cinemas, and that was roughly about July 2019. So there is that to put in.
I've got to say good afternoon to Rumple Foreskin. That's got to be one of the best names I've seen. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. That's just completely taken the serious edge away. So, I mean, what I would suggest is, rather than just a rant, because we can all rant.
Can I just answer a question before we go any further? Voca, them coils are absolutely awesome. Thank you.
Voca, two of the little beasts in there.
They're in there. They're in there. They're in there. Oh, they're in mid-drop as well.
Two aliens coming out at point one, and they are just making this Whitlicker sing. Bo! Good afternoon, mate.
This bump. Rachel, Huggles.
Rachel. Ooh.
So, getting back to what we were saying.
Yes, the Ofcom codes.
Sorry?
Rather than just ranting, because I don't think that's going to be a valid point of discussion to anybody. Let's actually take a look at what they were saying in the program. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll start off. Mr. Maitland. What was so?
Is it me? Or did he look a right scruff? Well, especially when he put that white coat on when he went into lab. He'd not shaven. He wasn't presenting himself very professionally.
I think it's supposed to be that he appears as a man on the street. Because let's be right, I don't.
He looked a scruff.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, he did. He looked a scruff.
I was more concerned that his obvious lack of knowledge, which was evident within the first 3 minutes of it.
His lack of knowledge and his agenda.
Yeah, because there was definitely one there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
100%. I mean, if he was supposed to be presenting a balanced picture about vaping, its benefits, and the potential for harm, he failed miserably.
He did, and then buffoons that he interviewed at the that vape shop.
They answered honestly.
Yeah, but what buffoon answers though? I'm sorry,
but...
no. Honestly, and another thing, and I know it's slightly off topic, but it isn't off topic. Tutti Frutti. Boy, if you counted how many times that word was used in that documentary, Tutti Frutti.
Oh yeah.
I don't know anyone that vapes on Tutti Frutti.
I've never seen a juice called Tutti Frutti.
Oh,
no doubt that there will be one.
Yeah, we sell
you
one.
Sell it, right? But Jesus, the reason being that people of a certain age will reference Tutti Frutti as a kid's sweet. That was very simple. So it was unbelievable. What bugged me most was they took things that have been reported but haven't been proved.
Oh, yeah.
And presented them as fact.
Yeah, but they was presenting a lot of things that weren't true as fact.
Oh, they were. I mean, let's go down to it. They talked about the 2 deaths, that are attributed to vaping. Nobody as yet knows who they are, where they are, or how it was attributed to vaping. I haven't been able to find anything yet, because I think it's still under investigation.
Well, wasn't the young lad, the boxer, well, he had a severe allergic reaction?
The young lad did, yeah.
Which is an extreme rare case.
But could happen, as the doctor said, could happen to anyone.
But that could happen with peanuts. That could happen with any substance.
Oh, air freshener as well.
Yeah, any substance. I mean, deodorant.
Rajan, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, Rachel, it's no. I would suggest you watch it if you haven't, just to sort of see. I'm not saying you'll learn anything, because there's not a lot to learn from it, apart from how biased it was. But Bruni, slap on the ankles. I'd say the bum, but we're not that sort of show. No.
Well, for the people that haven't watched it, shall we give them a rough guideline of how the actual show... I mean, it's only a 30-minute video, so obviously it doesn't take long, obviously, to watch. It takes you 30 minutes.
Unbelievable.
The outset starts off in a vape shop. I forget, it's a London vape shop, isn't it? It's quite famous, that vape shop.
It's a very posh London vape shop.
If I remember rightly, that's the London vape shop that has the cafe as well, with all the coffees. Quite famous, that vape shop. We'll not mention names, but it starts off in there. The first scenes that you start getting is Kanga tanks and C4s and C5s and...
Oh, it was almost a history of vaping, wasn't it?
It was brilliant, and I'm 95% positive that scene was I've seen it before. In fact, there was quite a few scenes in the documentary I am sure I've seen before. You know, that they've used as B-rolls and things like that.
Stock footage. Yeah.
And they start talking to, there's about 4 or 5 of them, isn't it?
No, 2 blokes and a woman.
2 blokes and a woman, yeah, but there's about 4 or 5 people vaping.
Oh, actually in the shop, yeah.
And there was trying to make out, straight from the onset, there was trying to make out that these are more addictive than cigarettes.
Yeah, because he was absolutely obsessed with how often people were vaping.
Yeah.
As was the boxer, the young chap who had the allergic reaction with his lungs. This is one of the things that does make my blood boil. I can say I pick up my vape, maybe 20, 30 times an hour. That does not mean I'm puffing away for a solid 10 minutes on it. It doesn't mean I'm puffing it because I couldn't physically do it. You know, one pull down.
But the thing is, though, and people might not know in chat, but it is quite common to know, having a cigarette and having a vape are 2 slightly different beasts. Yes, you inhale them, but the absorption rate is different. There is a big difference between vaping and actually having a cigarette. When you have a cigarette, the best way of explaining it, it's like a straight injection of nicotine. Straight away. It's the body straight away. Vaping isn't. It's slowly absorbed into the bloodstream. Very different.
A lot of that being to do with the chemical additives within the cigarette, which were developed over a number of decades to increase the speed of the nicotine hit.
Yeah. So obviously, a person that's gone from cigarettes to actually vaping, at the first initial switch over, yes, it won't be out their mouth for very long, but after a period of time, that slows down because you just get used to it. Because what you're basically doing is just topping that nicotine level up. You're keeping an equilibrium on your nicotine level. Whereas on a cigarette, you was having that hit. There is a big difference to keep that level high. You sort of like, on vaping, if you imagined it as a graph, it would be like a little wave. But on cigarettes, it's a rise and then it's a sharp drop. Then it's a rise and a sharp drop. That's the difference between how nicotine is ingested via cigarettes versus vaping. Just thought I'd let you know that.
Well, for me, that's something that should have been, the differences should have been laid out at the start of the programme. Because to say, when he looked at this woman aghast, and given the blouse she was wearing, I'm not surprised. It was a very vivid sort of raspberry pink. It was quite shocking. But anyway, he's sort of saying, well, do you use it a lot? And she said, oh, it's never out my hand. And he looked at her like she just said, I eat babies. Yeah. I'm one of those that it's very rarely out my hand. It doesn't mean I'm constantly using it.
Yes, Bill, that's exactly how Juul is designed, to hit the system very much like. That's why you've got 50 odd milligram of nicotine in it. It's to give you that straight buzz.
But that's why they're getting the head rush. So we went from that cosy scene and what can only be described as, I wouldn't have called them seasoned vapors.
No, I wouldn't.
I definitely wouldn't have called them seasoned vapors. They came across as fairly new to it. The way they were talking about stuff and describing flavours and things.
With his creme brulee.
Oh yeah, but what, pecan nut creme brulee? Not a flavour I'd want to try in a hurry, to be honest.
No, not one I would. But at the end of the day, there are various flavours like that out.
Oh, there are, but I mean, come on. Would you trust the juice? You walk into your shop. What have you got? Pecan crunch creme brulee. Yes, I'll have 7. No. No. I would treat that with some suspicion.
Do you know something? I know that sounds daft, but Rumpel's just mentioned a show full of actors who never vaped. I think they were planted. It's just that the way that they was answering are not the answers that a normal, average, everyday people in chat would never have answered them questions like that.
And you've seen members of the public on. All right, Rev, I stand corrected. Rev's got a custard cream brulee from Hackles. Bloody delicious.
And he'll have 2 of them, please.
Yes, 2 of them, my good man. Yes. What concern? What? It sounds a bit conspiracy theory, this, and I didn't want to go conspiracy theory. Just their reaction to the camera, to being interviewed.
Yeah.
I present data to large groups of people of varying sort of incomes and all the rest of it on a regular basis. I wouldn't have been that confident in front of the camera.
No.
I really wouldn't have been that confident, because she was almost playing the simpering.
Oh yeah, sure. I know exactly what you mean. It just didn't come across real.
No. Then, moving on from the vape shop, let's go on to this so-called, we sent somebody who's underage to go and buy e-juice.
I thought that was a bit iffy and all. And the simple reason why I say a bit iffy, not from the shops that she went to or the market that she went to, but the actual girl herself was 17. Now, how do we know that the day after she was 18? And she looked older than 17. She did look it. I mean, Trust me, I've been all right. I've only been in the shop a month now, but I've had young kids come in, and when I say young kids come in, I had one guy that came in Retford last week, and I had to card him, and he was 21 because he looked under 18, but she did not look under 18.
I wouldn't have carded her if she'd come to the bar when I was running the pubs.
Yeah, and you imagine what she'd look like if she'd been made up as well.
Well, this is it, because you have to remember, all we saw was a shot of her sat on the sofa, no makeup or whatever. Because you didn't see any faces when she was out buying the juice.
Yeah.
Who knows? You know. But and this is something I discussed at work with a couple of friends as well. From that shopping trip, juices allegedly that they tested were purchased. Yeah.
Well, there was 3 lots. They bought some from a market. They
Some
bought
from the market.
some from a vape shop, and they also bought some online.
4 bottles of the same flavour from the vape shop. Now, we don't know whether she actually purchased online. All we saw was her on the website.
Yeah.
And this is my other bugbear about the programme. They then went into the testing of these juices, but they didn't show any actual results. They didn't show manufacturers or even countries of origin of manufacturers. Because obviously if you start naming people, then you're getting into dodgy legal ground.
Yeah, of course you are.
However, provide some solid data to back up your arguments. There wasn't even a damn graph in the thing.
No, there was nothing. And then for him to turn around and say what there was in it, he quoted rocket fuel.
It's one of the chemicals used in rocket fuel.
Yeah.
It was hex.
And because it was below 0.01 particles per whatever, the manufacturers didn't have to state it in the label.
Yeah. Which is suggesting it's probably part of the flavouring. Yeah. Well, we're ingesting stuff like that all the time.
Exactly.
I don't see a Tonight programme on the dangers of carrot cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's face it, you can make anything sound scary.
They did a good job.
Oh, yeah, they did a total good job. Hi, Dale.
Hi, Dale. Yeah, I mean, it's it was biased beyond belief.
I mean, the chemical analysis part, he actually didn't tell you anything. Because what he turned around and said was that there was chemical spikes, and there was that many chemical spikes, they didn't know what was in it. Well, that's bullshit. That is absolute, utter bullshit, that. You can analyse any substance and find out what chemicals are in it. It doesn't matter how many spikes there are.
Well, you can with the bit of kit that he actually claimed to have used. The mass spectrometer will break it down. We use them at work.
Yeah. It'll tell you exactly what's in it. But he wouldn't tell you what was actually in it.
Yeah, which I find, again, a little suspicious. So then we move on from the lab to Stanton Gantz.
Oh, Stanton Glantz, what an... Yeah.
Now, I'm going to refer to a bit after that where he then went in to interview British Tobacco. And, I forgot, he even went to the minister, didn't he?
He did, yes.
And revealed these shocking results from the lab. So he didn't say anything. All he said was, we found a chemical in there that's used in rocket fuel. What do you think? You know, what's a politician supposed to say to that? The guy probably doesn't vape. The closest he's probably been to a vape is creating policy for it.
Yeah.
Or overseeing a committee. You don't have personal knowledge then. You rely on your experts to give you information. Oxygen, that's in rocket fuel as well, Rev.
Yeah, oxygen is. Oxygen is the main part of rocket fuel.
It was sensationalism. And it was almost like we were running through the tick box. So we'd gone lab, tick. Minister for Health, tick. Stanton Glantz, who's the informed world expert, tick. What they didn't do was when they went to British Tobacco, they were immediately on to,
he's not actually British Tobacco. He was...
He was part of the association, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's part of the association.
The trade association.
Then they were straight at him because he's getting money from Big Tobacco.
Yeah, £70,000 over 5 years.
Yeah, but isn't Stanton Glantz getting money from pharmaceutical?
Yeah, I didn't see any questions being asked where his funding came from.
Yeah. And let's face it, Stanton Glantz, how many times has he brought a paper out and it's been debunked straight away by his peers? Now, countless. I mean, literally, he's not just one or two. There are countless because he does not like vaping. He has got an agenda.
He's got an agenda because of who's paying his checks.
Exactly.
But he also brought up the Avali and the American deaths, which was referred to in another part of the programme. Even though, as Mark said, this film was probably filmed way back in July, under the Ofcom codes of practice, and let me just have a look here, and it says, general guidance, so it's protecting the under 18s, I want section 5. Right, fairness. To ensure broadcasters avoid unjust or unfair treatment of individuals or organisations in programmes. Yeah? So they are, makers should be normally fair in their dealings with potential contributors to programmes unless exceptionally it's justified to do so. Well, the way they were cross-examining the guy from the British Tobacco Association compared to how they treated Gantz. Yeah. It was just ridiculous. Because
they tried to demonise him straight away.
Yeah, and because it didn't, you almost get the feeling that a large part of that interview disappeared.
Yeah, a hell of a lot.
Because there was no actual questions asked to the British Tobacco.
No, none whatsoever. But we've got to say thank you to Ash though for sticking up for us.
Ash, yeah. My God, it's the first time I've ever been glad to see Ash on the telly.
Yeah, Ash was the. I mean, let's face it. Where was the NNA?
Well, according to the IBVTA and UK VIA, none of the trade associations for vaping were actually asked to appear on the programme, which I find an amazing deficit on part of the programme makers. If you're going to talk about how safe vaping is, surely you want to talk to the trade associations, to the people who actually make the product.
Carry on, I'm just trying to find it.
What, the response?
The ITV bit. ITV.
It's on the hub.
Yeah, I know it's on the hub.
Yeah. So, I mean, in the IBVTA response, what they've said was...
There's the link to it. I found the actual link to it.
Excellent. The IBVTA's opinion, the title itself exposed it as misleading. The programme singularly failed to reasonably answer its own question using the wide range of objective evidence now available. No UK manufacturer, importer of vape products was approached, either with the right to reply or to provide balanced arguments. The knowledgeable opinions of UK commentators were largely consigned to side notes, which is true. The piece relied heavily on opinions from tobacco control activist Stanton Glantz. Again, no UK trade association was approached for comment, despite attempts, and the IBVTA actually actively tried to contact the producers of the programme prior to it being aired. Factual errors that they list were it described the UK vape industry as being in boom. The industry boss is said to claim that their products are a cleaner and safer alternative to tobacco. The reality is the vape business has been, for the last 6 months, under serious threat due to a sustained barrage of media misreporting the lung disease cases in the USA, which was the THC. The program proved the highly addictive nature of e-cigarettes by asking vapers if they felt addicted. Objective research has already shown that vaping nicotine is far less addictive than smoking and less addictive than nicotine gum.
Yeah.
Which they're all for.
Oh, yeah. I'd like to approach on when they was talking about the American lad. Now, straight out, losing a member of family is not a nice thing, irrespective of how, where, or why, or what. It's just
all previous life choices.
Yeah, it's not nice. But to portray his death the way that they did, I think was not nice, and I think it was very uncalled for.
Well, it was sensationalism.
The reason why I say this is that while his father was actually talking about the incident, they kept on showing up pictures of his son, all healthy,
young, whole life ahead of it.
Yeah, until one picture just before he died, and he was a drug user. Profound drug user. He wasn't just a little bit of a drug user, occasional. He had a serious problems with drugs. Now, okay, they're blaming it on respiratory problems, but I don't think it's to do with vaping. I really do not. And obviously, we still don't know what he was actually vaping in the first place. But his life choices that he'd made while he was vaping could be attributed to his death. And it was blatantly obvious that until after you'd watched the little bit.
Too right. Can you just pull that stats up?
Which one? The stats?
Stats, please, yeah.
The stats. Bing! They're there.
They're there. Right, what you're looking at now, I'm just waiting for the TV to catch up. What you're looking at now is a bar graph of the Ivali cases in America. Yeah? Now, in June or July, so that's when we think the program was filmed, possibly a little bit later. I would suggest that this program was actually filmed over the period between July to October. Yeah? Now, going back to the Ofcom codes of regulation for broadcasting, so it's an obligation of the program maker or broadcaster to ensure that the information they are showing is correct. Yeah, I would strongly suggest that the manufacturing of this program is actually in breach of the Ofcom guidelines, because at no point was reference made to the CDC published information and the FDA published information on the cause of these Ivali cases. Because that's what they were getting at. Stance referenced it. The father of the boy referenced it. Now, if you look at the shape of the graph as well, so you go from couple of cases, into sort of the end of July period, and that was when they realised they had a big problem, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, back in July, Hemp had already done the article on what was causing the problem with the vitamin E. So it took them until just about the start of September. That's when people started disappearing. Back products started disappearing off shelves. And there wasn't anything new with the vitamin E acetated.
Yeah.
And then you see a natural progression as it goes down. You know, as these pods are being used. So where was that information?
Oh, yeah, straight away.
Where was that information Where was the information from the CDC? Where was the information from the FDA? Even the Daily Mail and the Sun.
Yeah, I'm going to take these stat off.
Yeah, if you could, please.
Yeah. Yes, boss.
Let them see your pretty face.
But you can see, obviously, the spike, and then obviously it literally drops off because obviously people are aware of what was happening. But even the CDC and the FDA are official, saying that most of them are linked to the THC, acetate.
Had that been down to regular nicotine vaping, we would have seen a very different graph to that, and we would have seen it about 5 years ago.
Yeah. Plus, it wouldn't be falling down.
No.
It would either reach to a peak and stay at that peak and carry on, because you work out how many vapors there are, we all must be ready for going into hospital.
Well, statistically, even the most adverse reaction, the only reason you're seeing that 1 or 2 is because of the millions that are actually vaping.
But let's get this into realistic terms. When you're playing around with stats like that, if you had the same stats of people who died in a car accident, people who died from drinking alcohol, people that are smoking, the scale would be tiny. Ours would actually be tiny compared in comparison. And I think that's where the problem lies, especially with these type of programs, is that they give you stats and information, but you've got nothing. You haven't got a level playing field of how high these really are. They just sound high, but in the reality of how many people have burnt themselves on an iron. I know it sounds silly, or household trip down the stairs or things like that. Broken people that have died getting out of bed could probably be higher and more of a risk in relationships, but because they're only showing it on their own and in self-contained verb, it's sort of like, oh God, that sounds really bad.
Hey, mate. Yeah, there's no point of reference. There's no scale of comparison given at all by the program. It was. It just really.
Do you know I was talking to Yanis yesterday about because obviously Yanis watched it as well, and we was talking about it, and it was sort of like, what was the point of the whole program?
To get people watching. It was purely feeding on public fear.
Do you know what I've come to the conclusion? You've had the hysteria, and that's the only way that you can explain it, is the hysteria that America's playing with vaping. And the media are trying to bring that hysteria over to here.
Well, we've got a failing print market for news. And I would also suggest that the British, sort of the big British news outlets like ITN, BBC, etc., are struggling to get viewers because it's all available online. This is just an attempt to boost ratings.
But while they're busy trying to boost their ratings, they are destroying or putting fear into the general public.
Yeah, and preventing people from switching from smoking to vaping.
And regarding teen usage, actually, it's falling.
Unlike they were trying to present as
they was trying to present it was increasing. It's not. It's falling. There was more last year. The year before, in 2018, and it's dropped in 2019. And it'd be interesting to see what 2020 brings.
Well, according to the IBVTA statement, there's a region of 4 million people are now ex-smokers and vape, or have given up both smoking and vaping. There's still between 6 and 7 million smokers in the UK, and smoking results in around 73,000 deaths and 480,000 hospital admissions every year. Right, 2 was it?
2.
2 possibly, and then there's.
I mean, the first when they brought it, I mean, we mentioned it when it came out. The headlines was the first death from vaping here in the UK, and what it turns out to be, it was 11 years ago now. It happened, and the guy was a glassblower.
An industry that uses oil to cool down the glass.
Yeah.
So lipid pneumonia would make sense.
Yeah, totally. But let's getting back to it. You're talking about an industry that was 11 years ago. Now, 11 years ago, the only e-liquid that you could really get hold of was from China, which was high PG. It wasn't like we have now, VG. It wasn't regulated like it is now, or the past, 5 years. That regulation wasn't there, so it would have been what device he would have been using 11 years ago would probably be something on the realm of like an ego with silica wick, etc. And it's so like the technology has moved on very, very quickly in 11 years, extremely quickly, and obviously the safety aspects have increased with that as well. So it was like, no, that's not related to vaping. I don't care what anyone says. But that was supposed to have been the first death. But you really can't class that as a death from vaping because it's unknown. Because let's face it, when obviously, unfortunately, I'm ever so sorry for the people that this affects, but when the gentleman died, vaping wasn't exactly prevalent in 11 years ago.
No.
Not many people were vaping in the UK then. So what devices he was using and how a doctor can say, oh yeah, it was related to vaping, I don't know.
Well, Bill's just raised a very good point that he also tried to claim that the MRHA don't monitor e-liquids, which isn't true.
Yeah.
You know, but 11 years ago, none of that would have existed.
No.
So you got your Dice Eagle and all the rest of it, you know. It was absolutely crazy. There we are. Mix just asked, wonder if they visited 100 shops and 3 sold to a minor. I thought their choice of areas where they bought was a little shaky.
See, the thing is though, I mean, even that is not exactly controlled science, is it?
No, it isn't.
Because like Mix just said, they could have visited 100, they could have visited 200.
We don't know.
You just don't know. You were only getting snippets of what they want to give you. And it was same like when there was interviewing people, across the board interviewing, it were only certain snippets. You wasn't getting that full, and we know how you can, through editing, you can manipulate an interview. To make it sound slightly different. I mean, there was the case not long back when the guy turned around, he was in America, he turned around and said that he'd been vaping, and they cut it at the point where he said that he was vaping THC. And they cut it exactly at that point, and he came out on YouTube and actually said, look, they didn't use the full interview. And I did say that I was using a THC cartridge, but by the time it came out on CNN or whatever it was, they'd literally snipped off that final piece of that conversation. So you know that for definite that the ITV one was done exactly the same.
Yeah, and when they were talking about the lung issue in America, because they didn't bring THC into it, yeah, you're also not bringing in the fact that it's illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have, and in Britain, we don't have that sort of scene.
No.
You know, THC cartridges are not easy to get hold of.
No. You can't buy them in a reputable vaping shop.
Yeah, whereas in the States, you can go to a dispensary and you can purchase these things.
Also, they mentioned that vaping has been banned in 10 states in America.
Yeah, I was interested on that one. 10?
10.
Who then?
So the whole... See, the problem with the ITV is a very big corporation. It really is. It's massive, especially here in the UK. Now, all right, yeah, they released the video, but at the end there was not one single correction.
No.
Now, I always thought that Ofcom rules would have made it that they would have to amend the data that they were giving.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, if you produce a documentary, so for argument's sake, it takes you 3 months to produce this documentary, and then it gets aired 2 months later. Things can change within that documentary, irrespective of just normal life. The person could die that you're actually interviewing, and things like that. Things can change, and normally at the end of a documentary, if there's any corrections that are needed, it's normally right at the end. Now, we know for a fact, I mean it is fact, that the CDC has now changed their policy on vaping. It's a fact that they never mentioned that at all. Yeah. And they brought that out in, was it either November or January, that it was definitely the deaths related to vaping was a THC problem. And they should have stated that at the end. But they didn't. And that's the concern I have with it. Okay, yeah, you can be forgiven for not misrepresentation, not your facts being exactly right when it was recorded, but they should have had the omittance right at the end, and they didn't.
Well, I actually found a really good example of this. Daily Mail. This was published 3 days ago, and the headline reads: US ban on all flavoured e-cigarettes except menthol and tobacco is officially in effect, but experts say its exemptions for a trendy disposable vapes make it a joke. Okay, so there's the headline, yeah? Fairly simple. All banned apart from menthol and tobacco, yeah? In the bullet points underneath... Hiya, Roxy. In the bullet points underneath, you've got nationwide ban went into effect on Thursday, covering all flavours aside from menthol and tobacco. Backs up what's in the headline.
Yeah, but he's just turned around and said all.
Exactly. Under the new policy, rechargeable e-cigarettes with pre-filled cartridges or pods are subject to restriction. That's very different to all e-flavoured cigarettes.
Yeah, totally.
Sorry, all flavoured e-cigarettes, I should have said. That is a prime example of how the media are treating us at the minute. You've got The Sun. This is another one. Teenage girl. This was published on the 5th of February. So a teenage girl develops a life-threatening throat swelling condition after vaping. Right? That's the headline. Further in, where are we? Urgent Care Centre. So this is way, way down. She vaped, where is it? She vaped candy and fruit flavoured e-cigarettes 3 to 5 times with her friends over 2 months preceding her symptoms, which were her throat was swollen and airway partially obstructed by a thick dark green mucus. Okay, so she's not walked through any contaminated air areas. Her mum's not used a new air freshener.
Welcome back, Chris.
You know, it's got to be the vaping, which she's done 3 to 5 times. If my argument to that would be, if her reaction was that severe, it would have been instantaneous.
Yeah.
So this is just, again, pure sensationalism.
It just doesn't make no sense.
Well, this to me is because Britain doesn't have an EVALI issue with the THC because it's difficult to get hold of here. So they're creating their own. But they're not taking into account the way that the human body reacts to an allergic reaction. It doesn't wait 3 to 4 months to suddenly develop an allergy.
No, you straight away. Virtually.
Yeah, if it's that bad, it's almost instantaneous.
It's less than 24 hours, isn't it?
Oh, God, yeah. You know, after a week in hospital, she slowly started to improve. Well, if it was vaping, come on. You know what I mean?
I can't see how a vape can do that.
I'd be intrigued.
I really can't understand it.
Normally, a thick green discharging would indicate an infection. You know, there's got to be something to be causing that, either bacterial, viral, or she's actually inhaled something.
Yeah.
Aspirated it, you know, into her lungs.
Yeah.
So, tonsillitis, another one, mate. You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but I mean, if you're having green goo down your throat...
There's something not right.
Yeah, and you can't blame that on vaping.
Oh, there you go. Health authorities jump on any cases immediately. They've had 2 small outbreaks due to spice. You know, again...
Yeah.
It's not a legal substance.
No.
And the problem being, as with America found, are you going to cough up to doing something illegal knowing that you have no exemption from prosecution?
Of course.
You
I mean, let's face it, not only prosecution, but you're a kid, you're going to tell your mum and dad, oh yeah, I was taking whatever. You're not,
exactly.
are you?
No.
I mean, come on, let's face it. If you got caught because you had a cigarette and you fainted at work, at school or something, you're not going to tell your mum and dad, oh yeah, it was because I had a cigarette.
No, it's because it was dead hot.
Yeah.
I've been running around, yeah.
Yeah. You're not going to tell them, oh yeah, I was having a big spliff at school. No, you're not going to say that, are you? You're just not, though. I mean, come on.
If I had, I wouldn't be sat here today, mate.
Well, I know that, but do you know where I'm coming from? It's so like you're not going to be totally honest.
No, and that's what they found with the Avali cases, because eventually when they did... Chico, I'm not sure what that was, but Bic.
Is that a big pen?
Possibly.
Thank you, my sweetheart. Are you enjoying your new car?
I am.
Yeah.
I've been out for a drive.
I've been out for a drive. She's as giddy as a kipper.
I'm not surprised. So, I mean, us as a vaping community, this is what we're now facing. And it's been on the rise for the last 3-4 months. Since the Avali started filtering through from the States.
See, the thing is, though, when you're getting ITV programs like this, now, ITV always comes across to me as, I wouldn't say a young channel.
No.
I would say it's, how can you say it without being rude? I would say it's a middle-aged to elderly focused channel.
What I would say is it has a reputation for investigative journalism and news because of ITN and the likes of, what was the big one? World in Action, etc. Yeah, they covered some very serious topics.
So you the audience that they are aiming at are the audiences that are now ringing up their nephews, grandsons, and saying, "Oh, do you know about this vaping lot? This is dangerous." And that's this is the bit that worries me. It really does, because it's sort of like, if we've reached the point that, especially here in the UK, you've reached the point now where people that was going to switch, or I don't know, should I switch, have switched. You've now reached the point where it's sort of like the hardened smokers. now.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. We're reaching them people where I'm not quitting. Oh, I like me vape. I like me cigarettes. No. And you'll get the ones that are like the doctors saying, you know, Mr. Jones, it's now time for you to stop smoking. If you don't stop smoking, is going to happen.
You will be an ex-Mr. Jones.
Yes. And I think that's the type of people that we get into. So when you're seeing programs like that, obviously they're not going to go to vaping straight away. Because they're not, let's face it, Mr. Joe Blogs is not going to do the research that we have and the people in chat have regarding vaping and understand how vaping really is in the real world. They're just going to watch the ITV show, they're going to read The Sun, and they're going to you're going to miss a load of people converting to a safer alternative just because of them.
Which is risking lives. Sainty, good afternoon,
Sainty.
Yeah, I mean, figures are all well and good. I fully appreciate they are part of the entertainment industry and they live or die on viewers' figures. This was a cheap shot.
Yeah, it was.
It was a cheap. You might as well. In my mind, it's the same sort of thing. If you'd done a program that was full of falsehoods about disabled kids, yeah, abuse of somebody that can't stick up for themselves, yeah. If you've done that sort of program, which always draws in big figures, because everybody likes a bit of drama, don't they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And this was just a justified way of doing that. The drama's there. The Americans have lit the fuse and run away. You know, it's got completely out of hand over there. And now
but the thing is, though, the way that they manipulated it, I mean, you always have a for and against formula. You've got to have that to have a documentary.
But the formula was short.
Yeah, the people for vaping was mega short, and I still say that the people that they interviewed in that shop were planted. Helicopter!
Would you like a ride on my chopper? I hello, bro. Yeah,
I just didn't think there was enough. There was too much anti compared to pro.
Which again, as I've said before, is in breach of the Ofcom regulations for broadcasting.
Yeah.
You are supposed to provide a balanced opinion. It makes it very clear that personal opinions shouldn't be taken in. And I don't think it was a personal opinion of Maitland about smoking. I think it was a complete lack of knowledge on it.
From the outset, it just didn't seem right.
No.
It really didn't. It was definitely... It was more of a shock horror. Oh, look what's happening than anything else.
Yeah.
It's sort of like we're undercover and we've found out how bad vaping really is.
Balls.
And that's the way that it was. You know how they go for, I don't know, secret builders or bank companies or solicitors or whatever, you know, look, we found out how they're putting shit in it and all that kind of stuff.
Well, we're back to the underage person buying juice. There was no justification for sending a minor in to buy juice.
Yeah.
Because it was how safe is your vape.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with
underage vaping.
Yeah. Had it been an underage vaping show, absolutely fine. Would have accepted it. However, when you consider that Office of Fair Trading only use people of a legal age that look younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was she... I mean, let's face it. You're only taking their word for it that she was underage.
Well, you've got to take... You have to accept it at face value because we've got nothing that proves otherwise. I'd love to hear from the woman that did, or the lady that did it.
Yeah. Because let's face it, she looked old enough. She looked about 18, 19.
Yeah. I mean, how many teenagers do you think would have appeared on telly with an acne outbreak as she did?
Well, yeah.
You know, you're on telly, your chance at fame, aren't you going to want to look as good as possible?
Yeah.
That was a bit of a...
I don't know. I don't know if it was acne or that she was very moly.
No, they look like zits, mate.
No, I think she was moly, to be honest with you.
I wonder if
I'm sticking up for her there. I think she looked a bit moly.
No, I thought it was zits, but never mind.
But she looked old enough.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you dressed her up and she would definitely look old enough. She'd get in a nightclub, no worries. What are you laughing at? What was funny about that?
I've just got business with all these teenagers. Sam, you stick on that really nice dress from next. I'll stick my heels on and we'll get that juice, no problem. Come on.
I mean, let's be right. It wasn't like some kid that was going in to buy a vape.
No.
Do you know what I mean? And look, how shock horror. I mean, it was only a few decades ago that you could have bought a packet of cigarettes at 16.
As a 6'2", 14-year-old, I was able to walk into a very carefully selected number of corner shops in Retford and was able to buy cigarettes over the counter without even batting an eyelid. Yeah, there's always...
See, what me being small and short-arsed and all that lot, I used to get questioned about cigarettes, but never when I went to a pub. Never been asked at a pub.
That's
cigarettes? I was 26 in Maltby. I was 26 and I got asked. Someone took my hat off and they saw grey hair. I said, thank you very much.
Thanks, mister.
Thank you. Can I have a packet of 20 Mayfair?
Oh, when's that big bird behind the bar knock off?
Can I have a bottle of 2020 as well, please?
Oh, God, I haven't touched Mad Dog in years.
But yeah, I mean, she went to a market stall.
Yeah.
Now, the market stall, if it's anything to go by market stalls that I've seen in Doncaster and Worksop, they are using cheap, mega cheap Chinese juicers. Mega cheap. So, yeah, that could become under question as saying that regulated, but I wouldn't say buying from a market of that ilk, because you could see the bongs and everything else with it. Are they a reputable company to buy e-cigarettes from?
No, and to play devil's advocate though, when you're buying online, you are very much relying on what is visually available.
Oh yeah, totally.
But
and especially every online stall that I've ever gone to, you've got to prove that you're 18. You either have to click that you are 18, or you have to actually put your birthday in it.
And then you've got your payment method.
So surely via that and the payment method, if you're saying that you are legal and you are not illegal, then obviously you're breaking the law.
Yes, I did see that, Graham. It's actually going through the Ofcom complaints procedure, so that's what Totally Wicked have actually done. They provided the link for people to be able to email and complain. I would, if you feel that's the way to go, brilliant. But don't just rant at them.
Yeah, I think just ranting at them.
There are specific rules that they must have breached in order for that complaint to be upheld. So a little read of the regulations, which are available on the Ofcom website. Yeah. If you Google how to complain about a TV programme, the information's all there. and just put it together in a sort of balanced argument.
Mm.
You know, if you can quote specifics, even better. I would also say, again, playing devil's advocate, that is what the program makers want you to do.
Mm.
Because if you look, also then put TV complaints into Google and have a look,
Yeah.
the only programs that are appearing within the news stories are the ones that got the complaints.
Mm.
So the most recent one being Piers Morgan and being allegedly racist on TVAM, that got something in the region of 20,000 complaints.
Mm.
That became a news story in its own right. And from the back of that, how many people do you think tuned into TVAM waiting to see what gaff Piers Morgan was going to make next?
Yeah.
You know, so you create, it will be creating publicity for the program makers.
Mm.
But I do think, I honestly do.
Do you think we've got to the stage of they just don't care? As long as it's all it's a numbers, purely a numbers thing.
I think it is a numbers thing.
Mm.
I think everybody's looking for the next big headline.
Mm.
It's down to the drama. Instead of actually doing things now, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
as we would have done. Right. Let's look at this now. Social media, yeah. If people said what they say now on social media to somebody's face back in the 80s, you'd have been spitting teeth.
Mm. Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been a case of this went on for weeks and weeks and weeks. It would have been sorted in one way or another within a matter of minutes. I think this is the danger now of the highly connected online.
Mm. Because let's face it, the media now, it's got to the stage where you just cannot trust a word they are saying.
It's clickbait, most of it.
I mean, all right, I appreciate that when a documentary, especially documentaries, things can change during the period of you actually recording it, editing it, and putting it together, and then airing it. I can totally appreciate that. But like I said earlier, normally if there's anything that's changed, they normally say something right at the end of the programme. But that didn't even do that.
No.
So they was quite happy, whoever was the overseer of the actual programme, the head wigs, because obviously they have to approve the documentary. I mean, it's not like just you and me go out, we make a documentary and then give it to ITV and they say, yeah, we'll air that on whatever day. It has to go through a committee. It has to go through approvals. There is a regime behind it of the fact-finding and things like that. There is all that set in place. So it's not just one bloke saying, yeah, that's all right, go on, just slap that on telly. There's been a committee about that, and they've agreed to it and said, yeah, that's worthy of airing.
But if you watch the programme or you watch the programme, the thing to notice is their use of language. Because the word alleged is used a lot.
Yeah.
Nothing was given as a cold, hard fact. It was suggested in the strongest possible terms. But they never went as far as to say, that's fact. You know, when they went to the health minister, it was appears. Yeah? Indicates. It's got chemicals in the same as those found in rocket fuel. The use of rocket fuel was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there is many other far less insightful properties that it has.
To be honest with you, I'm surprised that they never mentioned popcorn lung and formaldehyde.
That's been poo-pooed so hard now, I don't think they'd get away with it.
So the new one is rocket fuel. I mean, come on.
Anyway.
I mean, it's getting to the stage now that it's just not worth. The media itself is getting that bad now that it's not worth. They're going to lose more people than they are actually going to gain them.
Well, can you pull Joel up?
Oh, I haven't got one.
No, you know what I mean.
There you go.
This is a prime. Yeah, no need. I can see what he's doing. This is an example of American people's perception on Juul. Yeah. And this is for the vaping deaths linked to THC. So the first column is September 2019, before the CDC made their disclosure. So e-cigs such as Juul, 58% of people thought, have you seen red? Have any people died from lung disease related to the use of the following products? So e-cigs such as Juul was 58% in September. In January, following wide coverage of the CDC saying it was down to THC, it had actually increased. That was the influence of the media.
Yeah.
So programs like that, you know, I find that absolutely terrifying.
That is scary, but that's just the proof of how influential the media is.
Yeah.
Because now people think that blooming vaping is worse than smoking.
Oh, and it's going to take years for that to reduce. Is it down yet?
No, it's still up.
No. I was just saying, I think that shows the point very, very well.
Yeah.
On the sort of effect that media has on public perception. So can we see your lovely face again, please?
No, you don't see.
Now you stop pulling faces at me and putting up rude messages. Oh, if you could only see what I saw, people, you'd be horrified.
But it is a known fact. I mean, as human beings, we are lazy. We are so lazy, it's unbelievable. And all we'll do is read the headlines. And that's it. And it's them headlines that so like it will. If someone doesn't be careful, they're going to cause so many people's deaths by doing it. And it's that it sounds silly, but it's that serious because you are making sure that the hardened people that are on smoking do not stop smoking.
And Emma's just raised a lovely one. There was also an attempt to discredit PHE. There was a very strong attempt to discredit it. And I must admit, I wish I could remember the gentleman's name from the British Tobacco Association. But when he turned around and said, well, they obviously believe it, otherwise they wouldn't have quoted it.
Yeah, but he turned around and said, if I remember rightly, I could be wrong, but I'm almost 95% positive. He turned around and said that it wasn't Public Health England that quoted the 95%.
It wasn't. It was a panel of specialists
that worked for.
Yes.
So it was Public Health England.
When they were doing, very similar to the report that we're all waiting for. The first inception of that, they got a number of vaping experts together, and they put a rough figure on it.
That was the first one.
That was the very first one.
The second one, which came out last year, was Public Health England, and Public Health England actually stated 97%.
Yeah, based on the data.
Based on the data, but they was going to go for 95% just because of that 5% to be a caution.
Yeah.
And when you've got Public Health England, you've got the Royal College of Physicians, you've also got the Royal College of Midwives, you've also got Cancer Research, ASH, all them lot are supporting vaping. Where were they?
Well, ASH were there.
I mean, why? But the thing is, though, this was based in England. Well, sorry, should I say the United Kingdom? What the hell was Stanton Glantz doing?
Because they wanted that American slant on it, which was very anti-vape. It was obvious. But anyway, I think we've well and truly discussed that now.
Are we going to upset our sons now and talk about Doctor Who?
No, I was just going to ask if there was anything else that chat noticed about it. Because there's bound to be stuff that we've missed, but I'm sure Jay Jerry says it seems so convenient this happening right after Brexit and Joe pushing to remove the 20 milligram cap.
Yep.
You're not kidding.
Hmm.
Nick says yay. What, Doctor Who? Was the name of the Whitlicker? What was the name of the Whitlicker tried on the home service on Thursday? Because I've ordered to check he's ordered the right one.
It's that Mac. It's the raspberry.
Cream
Raspberry yogurt with choux pastry.
Cream yogurt, yeah. Macana.
M-I-A-K-E or something, wasn't it?
Let me Google through that.
No, it was yay for Doctor Who.
Don't.
Well, I watched Picard last night and I enjoyed that. Yeah, that's it, Chris.
Mayako, yeah, that's the one. And that, Mayako, is actually, they're a food retailer in Australia.
Are they?
But theirs is, they do the choux pastry buns.
Mm-hmm.
They're deep fried, but they're filled with a vanilla custard rather than the yogurt.
Ooh. It's worth a trip just for that.
It is. The raspberry one so far is eking to the top. I mean, we're talking the same sort of quality as
Rochford there.
Rochford, yeah.
I was very impressed with it. And I tell you one thing, I used it mainly on an RDA and it's not a coil killer. Just thought I'd mention that. How's your coils?
As I would expect, it's fairly sweet. I mean, after sort of 5-6 days of solid blasting, they were fairly dark, but it wasn't a couple of days and they were black. Yeah,
I thought that considering the obviously the style of the juice, because obviously you've got a sweet raspberry because it's like a raspberry syrup that you squirt on your ice cream. Then you've got that yogurt, which is a gorgeous yogurt, and then you've got that choux pastry lining, so it's easily sweet vape and quite a thick vape as well. I thought my coils were going to be a lot worse than what they were, and they're not. I was quite impressed. I mean, it's not like vaping on something like something simple like a fruit, where your coils can last a good while. It is a heavy sweetened juice, so yeah, I was impressed.
It's very complex. What I did notice was, following Paul's advice, I did up and down the wattage, and the choux element of it definitely ramps and drops dependent on whether you're at the sweet spot. Does that make sense? So if you went up from 60 to 65 increments, about 62, all of a sudden that choux pastry just popped.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, again. I was on a Mex first of all.
Yeah.
So I got that choux pastry straight away. Mick, I'll be at Gainsborough soon, so you'll have to bring a sample.
You cheeky sod. It's not a bring your own.
Of course it is. Too right. You can't pronounce that you're making Dark Star stuff, citrus and tropical one, and they smell lovely. They're steeping, so by the time I get to Gainsborough, they'll be perfect. I'm not sure. It won't be. I think it's about 3 weeks' time. I think I'll be going to Gainsborough. I'm at Retford.
Gone by then.
Yeah, that's true. What am I? Next week I'm at Worksop for the beginning of the week, tomorrow. Then I'm at Retford, and then next week I'm all at Retford. So I think it's the week after I'm good to go to Gainsborough. Fabulous.
No, I just saw people mentioning Picard there. The third episode.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, obviously no spoilers because
people might not. Yeah.
The ending. All I'm going to say is the ending of the third episode.
Lethal. Whee!
Hey, Lethal. If you've not got a tear in your eye by the end of the third episode, you're made of stone.
Oh, there were some good bits and pieces.
What I'm loving about it is the nods to the fans are throughout. It's building on
Will do, Mick.
It's building on previous storylines from Next Generation.
Oh, yeah.
But it's expanding it so much.
I was genuinely... Obviously, I've seen bits and pieces that people have posted on social media, you know, and a lot of them are dissing it, and I can't diss it for anything.
To be honest, I think you'll find when you get below the people screaming how crap it is, there's actually a hell of a fan base for it.
I'm genuinely, hand on heart, loving it. In fact, they're just not long enough. It was like The Witcher and obviously Mandalorian. They just don't seem long enough, because not only is it a TV series, but the way that it's filmed, it's like a movie.
Mm.
And the
10.
Yeah, honestly, absolutely, I am so, and you feel for Picard continuously all the way through. You actually feel for it. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
There's nothing at the present moment. I mean, all right, we're only into 3 episodes. There is nothing at the present moment that I don't like. You can see where the twists and the turns are already starting to, the storylines, and I thought it was ace that we met Hugh again.
Oh yes.
And that that one I thought was quite clever, because it wasn't a big introduction or anything like that. It was just, yeah, it's Hugh.
It took a bit to sort of realise who it was.
Oh, he didn't me. As soon as I saw him, I recognised him.
No, well.
And that's going to be interesting, because the last time Hugh and them lot wanted with, whatchamacallit, Law.
Yeah.
When Law took over a load of them, didn't he? He took a load over at Borg. They got rid of Law, and it was left to Hugh to look after him.
Oh, it's good. It was good. We have to mention it. It was the week before. The episode was brilliant.
Oh, we're talking about Doctor Who.
There was a touch of magic.
Oh.
There was a touch of magic to the alternate Doctor, and there was all these questions we wanted to know. It was great. What did they follow it up with? An environmental fucking lecture.
Yeah. And that's all it was. It was an environmental lecture.
No coherent storyline.
No.
A gay couple thrown in there for God knows what reason.
Yeah. I mean, what was that about? Why?
I don't know.
What was the need of that?
It wasn't even a subplot. You've got a scientist out in the Maldives, yeah, that all of a sudden turns into some sort of intergalactic nemesis. Give it a break.
Yeah, it was just shit. I'm sorry, it was shit.
And if the virus spread by people exploding at the end, which would be same as a mushroom catapulting its spores, yeah. Given the Doctor and all the companions were in the vicinity when it went boom, and according to them, everybody's full of microplastics. Come on. Come on.
I mean, that's all it was about. It was, again, another lecture. That's all it was. It was a lecture the 3 weeks before. We had one good one, and now we've got another lecture.
If I want that, I'll watch David Attenborough. Because he does it in a manner that...
He explains it, what's going off.
He shows you the rest of it, and it's not condescending. I mean, let's be right. Blue Planet, if you were going to paraphrase him, Blue Planet 1 would have been, we got a problem. Blue Planet 2 was, seriously, we got a problem.
Yeah.
Seven Kingdoms is David Attenborough going, lads, you're not listening. We're about that far. You know.
But it doesn't need to be thrown down your throat in a sci-fi bag of poo. And it was so lame. I wouldn't mind it if it was a good storyline.
I've got to pull Nick on that. From the perspective of a person who is super into marine biology and protecting our oceans, this episode genuinely made me want to kick a pigeon. Nick, don't kick pigeons. You bastard. They are little furry friends.
No, the rat with wings. The rats with wings. Come on.
They are living creatures.
But it was just rubbish.
Oh, net reality. They made Star Trek Discovery and we fall back. They destroyed Star Wars and we fall back. They annihilated Doctor Who, we fall back. And now Picard. The line has been drawn here. This far, no further. I honestly think, I know Ben's going to disagree with this. CBS looked at the way they were going to originally plan Picard and went no. And that's why they pulled him as the show head, yeah? But the exec producer of Picard was so deeply entrenched with the production company that they couldn't get rid of him altogether. I honestly think this Picard's about as good as they could have hoped for.
Yeah, of course. And Lethal, yes, I did see your sign. You look like you're going to get a job. Awesome!
Nick kicked the seagull instead. Leave the seagulls alone.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't care what anyone says. I am loving Picard.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely loving it.
They go nice on salad too, Sky Rats. Timmy, they do, mate, especially with a nice sour cherry dressing.
Why would I hate you, Chris? What a strange thing to say.
I really wish Doctor Who, when they got Chimmel on board, had looked at the way that other sci-fi programs are going, because there's a lot of retro stuff that's come back. You know, Battlestar Galactica wasn't the same Battlestar Galactica from the 80s.
Of course it wasn't, no.
But it was sympathetic.
It had the original nods.
Yeah.
But they didn't destroy it.
No.
I don't care what anyone says. They are destroying Doctor Who.
Because it's not written sympathetically. All we're getting is these environmental lectures and all the rest.
Do you know how I feel Doctor Who is now? They've come up with a script, and they think this script is really great, and they've pasted on Doctor Who on top of it. So they've already created a storyline, and it could have been any character.
Yeah.
Absolutely any character. It could have been its own unique little bit. But they've pasted Doctor Who on top of it. Just to make it work.
All we're seeing is a tick box of the hot topics. So LGBT, tick. Environmental, tick. How do we work this one in, boys? This is what we were scared of when it first happened, because they didn't have any writers with serious sci-fi jobs.
What was that? Oh, gay couples fall out as well. Did you know that? It's
No.
like, yeah. So like, yeah.
This is it.
Gay couples have fights as well, you know. So like, yeah, I gathered that. We all do.
And what I want to know is how an astronaut can survive bouncing through the stratosphere.
Oh, yeah.
Because his guidance computers are gone. So therefore, his stabilizers aren't making all the minute adjustments necessary to remain in the correct position. He should have been a fried taco before he even hit the atmosphere.
Well, there was just too many. There was just too many wrong things about that Doctor
Who. Bill's just made a nice one. If you know, Picard is co-produced by Patrick Stewart. He has had a lot of input into how Picard was perceived and how he felt the character would be. Honestly, I'm not going to question the science in a sci-fi show with a flying blue. It's a fair point, Nick.
Yeah, it is a fair point, yeah.
However, Come on, give it a break.
Do you know what the first scene? You know the first scene where she says, "Oh, I'm going to show you this lake,"
Yeah.
or whatever it is, and then obviously there's all
The
that
river.
rubbish.
Yeah.
Why would you camp in the middle of a dump it site? You wouldn't, would you? Nobody, no, come on, let's be right. Nobody in their right mind would think, I mean, because it wasn't like it was nearly dark or anything like that. It was the middle of the day. At what point, well, I'm going to camp here.
Because the light, when the sun's going down, glinted so prettily through the syringes. You know, I mean, come on, give it a...
It's so like, what? I mean, people just don't do that.
Well, you're not going to set a tent up where people are obviously being fly tipping in the dark.
Exactly.
Because at midnight, you're going to get your tent crushed.
It's right though, isn't it? I mean, come on. It was just silly. Silly. I mean, a science station next to a beach.
Mm.
Yeah, of course. With all the equipment that you could possibly dream of.
Well, she was an intergalactic nemesis.
Oh, yeah.
See you later, Chris.
See you later, Chris. You take care, buddy. But wow.
Chris, sharp, working.
I know. It's awesome.
It's brilliant. All right, it took a while for it to sink into my little head.
I think he's ace. I think he will do really well.
So do I. I can't wait for tonight. I'm just waiting to rag on it. Nick, don't. I used to get as excited for Doctor Who as I do for Picard now. And I actually have that little... You remember that Christmas morning feeling? That slightly giddy, the tingles, yeah? I used to get that when Doctor Who was due on. I don't get it anymore. No. I get it for Picard.
Oh, yeah, Picard, definitely.
Leaving work on a Friday, I am probably the happiest that I am at any point during the week.
Do you know, I know this sounds really sad, and it really is sad. After Doctor Who on BBC Two, you've got the new Top Gear. And do you know something? I'm getting more excited about watching the Top Gear than I'm actually watching Doctor Who.
Hush your mouth.
I know. No. That's how bad it's getting. Because the new Top Gear, the new guys that they've got with Top Gear, is absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it really is. It's like watching the old Top Gear, but the new characters that they've got Paddy whatever his name.
I don't watch it.
What's his name now? Flintoff.
Oh, yeah.
He's in it. Paddy, you know Max and Paddy? You've seen Max and Paddy.
Yeah.
Him, he's on it. And honestly, it's brilliant. And they gel so well.
Have they still got him out of Friends on?
No. All them lot are gone. That's it, Paddy McGuinness. Honestly, it is... If you liked the old Jeremy Clarkson, Hammond and May Top Gear, you will enjoy this because they've got rid of the idiots.
Oh, I might have a
and they've got three lads, and honestly, it's corking. I have thoroughly. They bungee jumped off a blooming dam, a car. Honestly, brilliant. I have thoroughly enjoyed watching it.
Bloody hell. It's the northern version for northern people.
It is. Well, I think the two of them are from Lancaster.
Oh, hey.
Well, Paddy's from Lancaster. I think he's from Bolton. And then obviously you've got the cricketer. He's Lancaster. Yeah, he's. And then you've got the other guy. I'm not quite sure what his name is, but yeah, really enjoying it. So after Doctor Who, BBC Two.
Take off your big coat and watch Top Gear.
Watch Top Gear. And it's very Yorkshire. Well, very northern, should I say.
You just don't want to say it's very Lancastrian, do you?
Well, I can't say that. Well, it is very Lancastrian, but it's very northern.
You're being tempted by the dark side. I can see it.
My wife's from Lancaster. She was born in Lancaster.
You're being tempted by the dark
side. It's like I always say to it, tamed a Yorkshireman, though. I tell you one thing, Bill, it does make you wonder if Clarkson's on the production team, because it smells of Clarkson all the way through it. Because let's face it, I mean...
Would they have him back?
Yeah, but the problem is, I mean, no offence to any three of them, May, Clarkson or Hammond, they're all getting on a bit now. So doing them dangerous trips and things like that is... The insurance must be a bit higher now, should we say?
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't exactly sort of leave the BBC smelling of roses, did he, Clarkson? So.
Oh no, because he punched one of the guys, didn't he?
Producer, allegedly. Yeah.
But I've really enjoyed it. The chemistry that the three lads have got now reminds me of the old Top Gear.
Yeah, I enjoyed it at the time. I don't know if I'll be prepared to sit down and invest an hour of my time with it now.
Right, by all accounts, Clarkson has buggered up his neck as well. Well, we've got to support Clarkson because he's from Doncaster. Yay! Actually, he's from Tickhill.
And
his mum and dad used to make Paddington Bears.
No, his mum made the first Paddington Bear. Yeah.
Illegally. But the guy that wrote Paddington Bear liked him that much, he let him do it. He was a backhander in a lift. Seriously? I'm not joking. It's a true story. They went up in a lift, the both guys, because they was going to hammer it out with the solicitors and all that lot, and there was a deal struck in the lift.
Mick's just said the Grand Tour was good. They're just doing specials now.
Yeah.
It never really took off on Amazon, did it?
I watched all of them and thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed our man May in Japan. I thought that was good as well.
Not seen that one.
Yeah. That's another one. It's like an offshoot from... That's still on Amazon, like. It's a little offshoot from the Grand Tour.
Whoa. See, I'm watching all these films and sci-fi programs, and I'm missing all this. I'd rather be watching my sci-fi programs.
Well, yeah, obviously.
I had to laugh last night. Mum came round and babysat, and I've got 1999 on. And she's just looking at it and shaking her head on. No, you got to. Space 1999, it's the law. Amazon Prime so underrated. Having Prime Video and Netflix is pure gold.
It is.
It is. And if you throw into that, potential streaming opportunities, there's not much reason to be watching TV these days.
I love Amazon. Amazon TV, it's blooming brilliant. The stuff that's on there, it's absolutely unreal. Especially if you're into documentaries and that lot. There's absolutely... I watched one documentary. It was the Scar special. I'm not sure where it was recorded, but it was definitely off an old video because of the quality. But you had Bad Manners, Madness, the specials, Selector, and it was a live gig that they did in 81. It was brilliant. Right, enjoyed it.
I'll be digging that one out. Yeah. I mean, let's be right. Amazon Prime does have some pap on it. There are definitely nuggets of gold in there, but by God, you've got to sift some cack to get to it.
I wouldn't say that. Once you learn how to use it, you can find a lot. There's a lot in there that I like. I enjoy it, especially music-wise. The music documentaries, there's hundreds of them.
Superb, yeah. Netflix is becoming a prime sort of... they're absorbing TV shows from other countries. And then they're becoming Netflix originals.
Yeah.
And there's some really good Scandinavian stuff on Netflix. No, not that sort of Scandinavian. Sci-fi.
As soon as you mention Scandinavian.
Don't watch the Fleet. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Which one?
The Tick.
Tick? That was funny as hell. I watched the first season, but yeah, it is a bit cheesy.
Yeah, this is the thing now with Netflix. There's so many streaming packages available. Another one that we've not mentioned is Plexus.
All right, I don't.
Now, predominantly, it started off as a means of having a home media server, but now they're actually streaming videos and TV shows as well. I watched Convoy the other night.
Convoy.
I love that film.
It's ace. I've got that on DVD somewhere.
To sit there, and as soon as the music started, that was it, 10-4 rubber duck.
There's a bear in the air.
Can you pull back them hogs? Is getting intense.
Oh, come on. That was Happy Days then.
Oh, man.
That and Smokey and the Bandit.
Good innocent fun.
Oh, God, wasn't it just? Vapester, hey, buddy.
Hey, Vapester. Yeah. I love Convoy. Chris Christopherson, just brilliant.
Yeah. It's an awesome
just
film.
Something about him.
It's a proper Sunday afternoon film, that.
Same as Cannonball Run.
Yeah, definitely.
That, in my mind, is a Sunday afternoon film.
Another film that I haven't watched in absolute years, but it's a definite Sunday afternoon. The Magnificent Men and Their Flying Machines.
Oh, God, yes.
That's a proper Sunday afternoon film.
The sort of 60s comic. Well, the Herbie films.
Oh, yeah.
I used to love watching them.
Love Bug.
Yeah.
So innocent.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because back in the day, Sunday afternoon films, if they were the black and white war movie or whatever, you'd watch it, but you wouldn't enjoy it. And my granddad would be sat in armchair getting it. One of the best films that ever made this. Like, watch how he dies. In fact, these days,
Bridge over the River Kwai.
Oh God, yeah.
The Dam Busters.
And now sort of Battle Amongst the Stars comes on, or Herbie, and I'm sat there in chair doing exactly what my granddad did.
Can you remember The Last Starfighter?
Oh, I love that.
What was the one? And I keep on forgetting the name of it. John Boy was in it.
Battle Amongst the Stars.
Is that the Battle Amongst the Stars?
With the two little animals that did heat and cold. There was the reptilian.
Yeah.
The big Valkyrie. With the yes.
Oh, Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah, I love Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, Dukes of Hazzard. Daisy.
Oh, Daisy.
Daisy. Apparently Batman's Juice has made it to the UK.
About time.
Oh, that'll be intriguing. I wonder who's going to be stocking that.
Yeah, it is. Because we've had quite a few people come into the shop asking for it.
I'm intrigued.
Mick, if you could tell me who's stocking it, that'd be awesome. Because then obviously I can direct people.
I'm guessing 101 will probably.
Yeah, more than likely.
Oh, Mystery Science Theatre. Oh, I miss that.
Do you know what I miss
awesome.
on a Sunday?
Songs of Praise with Harry Seacombe?
No. Tales of the Unexpected. Gling, 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 da da da, gling, gling, gling.
That was Sunday night.
I know. That was a Sunday night. Gling, gling. I used to love them. They were so simple little... I think they were only about half an hour, 40 minutes.
See, I'm a shoelace and the Chinese detective. I used to love watching them.
What, like Bergerac?
Yeah, that sort of thing. But
oh, what
yeah,
was that girl?
Hazel.
What was that woman one?
What, Cat's Eyes?
No. What were it called now? Juliet Bravo.
Oh God, that was Saturday night. That was.
Juliet Bravo.
That was after Doctor Who. When Classic Who had finished, Juliet Bravo started, and then Generation Game went after.
That's awesome, Mick. FutureJuiceLabs.co.uk. I love that. With no link.
Impressive. Never looked at a Zippo lighter the same again after Tales.
I know. I will. Do you know something? That one sticks in my head. Absolutely. I mean, I must have been about 8 or 9 when I watched that, and it was so like the Zippo lighter. He had to strike it 10 times or he lost his finger.
Charlie's Angels apparently is on pick.
Oh, Charlie's Angels, used to like that.
I watched some of them, the old ones. Oh, hasn't aged well.
Anti.
Fall Guy, I could watch that all day. Airwolf, bit cheesy, could still watch it all day. Charlie's Angels, I'd struggle with a full episode.
Well, I wonder what Chips would be like.
Don't.
Chips will be back after the break.
It was bad enough watching the remake film. I was looking for a sharp object halfway through.
Oh, I never watched
Oh, wasn't good. Sabrina Duncan.
Yeah.
Oh. If you like Sabrina... Hold on, Sabrina Duncan. Was she the brunette with the bowl cut?
The one with the smallest eyes, wasn't it?
The one what?
The one with the little eyes. She had little eyes.
The Hulk doesn't travel well either, no. Officer Puncher.
Ding, 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 ding.
I'm
Ding,
trying to
ding,
think.
ding, ding, ding.
In the last season, you had the redhead came in. I'm trying to think what her name is. Tanya something. But she appeared in The Beastmaster, which was an amazing 80s sort of sword and sorcery job. It was so cheesy, it was good. You could have spread it. Oh, Gemini Man.
Outer Limits.
Outer Limits. See, I really miss those, the 80s ones Spielberg did. Some of those were brilliant. Now, if you've not seen the Will Smith Gemini Man, go check that out. Well worth it.
I've been told to watch the Focus.
I'm not seeing that.
No, I haven't. It's Will Smith. It's called Focus.
I'll have a shove to you at that. But the Gemini Man, switch your brain off. It's a good old-fashioned action-adventure romp.
Oh, Farrah Fawcett.
Cheryl Ladd was always the one that got me sort of, I got dead. It's not right. 8-year-old feeling that thrutchy about Cheryl Ladd, no.
But we did.
I'm going to go and watch this upstairs, Mum.
Oh, dear God. Right, we are coming up to the time, kiddo.
That's gone quick and all.
Ain't it just?
Dear God. Well, thank you to ITV for being such bellends and giving us content for today's show.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank ITV. Other channels are available.
Please watch them. Anything.
Yeah.
Please. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend that you do watch that episode.
I think I've
tonight.
still got it on the link here, but no, not on that one. There we go. I found it. Copy. There you go. I'll put it back into link if you so desire to watch it. That's the ITV documentary. There you go. I've lost you.
Never was. No, I'm here.
Ooh, I thought I'd lost you there for a second.
No.
Ooh, I thought,
no,
as he froze.
No, I was merely staying still. I was pretending to be a statue of a fat bloke.
Well, yeah. Your battery's just run down.
The Man That Never Was. Is that the one with the... played Bond. Roger Moore.
I don't know. I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, I think that's The Man That Haunted Himself.
Mm.
That was good.
Mm.
60s. I'll have to have a look for that. Man That Never Was. Intriguing. But Google it.
Google it. It's the answer to everything, isn't it, nowadays? Google it. Ask Alexa.
Too right. Oh, thank you. Right.
Big ups to Roxy as well. And thank you so much for all the bits and pieces that you've been putting in chat. Thank you so much. And like Roxy has been saying, if you haven't given this a thumbs up, please give it a thumbs up. Let's see how many we can actually get. It'd be nice.
And if you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down, but tell us what we did, where we went wrong.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. If there's anything about the show that you think we could do better or you'd like to see more of, slap it in comments. It's really, really easy. We're very easy on here.
Oh, thank you, Stuart. Thank you for the screen chat. You kept me company in the greenhouse. And even better, not much Doctor Who, Star Trek or Picard talk this time round. Not sure what Timmy's on, but I'll have a pint. Just remember, as Sir Elton said, Rocket Man juicing up his cause up here alone. Oh, bless you. Oh.
Rocket Man! No.
Oh, Mick, not... which show you on, Mick? Come on, shameless plug.
Yes, come on. What show you on?
Who are you tarting it with this week?
Come on, slap your link in chat. Come on, dude. Come on, mate. You can't drop that line and then just disappear.
He's probably got a fare.
Yeah. Shit.
He'll be racing to Trent's Northern Union Vape Show on Benny Vapes.
Awesome.
It's actually it's a good little show, that.
I've not seen it, but I will watch it.
No, it is quite a good little show, that.
Right, so we're going to wrap this one up, kiddo?
We better add thank you to everybody that's joined us this afternoon. It's been absolutely brilliant. I know we went on a bit about the TV programme, but I think there was so much stuff that needed to be
totally. Yeah,
that.
Definitely.
So we will be back to the usual chilled Sunday afternoon format next week.
Will we?
I hope so.
Will we now?
Oh God, we're not doing the pole dancing one, are we?
We could do. I think we're doing it naked next week, aren't we? I'm sure you said that we were doing it naked.
Yeah, but you said you wanted to put Velcro on the pole.
Yeah, definitely.
No.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Velcro and tar.
Don't forget to join us on Thursday.
Yes.
Tar? Tar?
Yeah, then feathers.
Kinky.
I know.
Don't forget to join us on Thursday for the Home Service Live, where the inimitable,
Indimitable?
Indimitable.
Indimitable. That's a big word on a Sunday. I don't even know what it means. What does that mean? Indimitable.
I meant to say inimitable.
Ah, I'm going to say. I know what that means.
Inimitable. Lethal Coils joins us at 7 p.m. on Mark's YouTube channel.
Well, he might. Depends if he's late or not.
Play nice. Feathers all around the bottom to fall in. That's what I'm worried about, Bill. Feathers all around the bottom. Yes. And over to Mark.
Right, guys, want to give you a big shout out. Thank you so much, everybody in chat. I want to give all the spanners a big love and a huggle for looking after chat as well. Steve, it's been awesome, absolutely awesome. We have covered a topic that could have quite easily just ended up in a verbal rant, to be honest with you. And I think we covered it more mature than ITV did.
I'm glad you think that.
I think so. So I'm going to wrap this one up. I want to give you all guys a big love, and the people on the replay, hello and thank you for watching. Don't forget to please give it a thumbs up. It's a little request we ask. Is just give it a thumbs up. It always helps the channel, and obviously helps with the analytics for YouTube, and YouTube thinks that we're doing a good job. If we're doing a good job, it's thumbs up. Brilliant. So I'm going to wrap this one up, and we'll see you all on Thursday 7 p.m. for the home service. So from me and Steve,
Bye.
Outro.
I told you not to.